How many of you work hard as heck for barely over $30,000 per year? California here. State minimum wage $15. I work at a popular store and my take-home is barely over $30,000 per year. $19.75 per hour, but then there's state taxes, federal taxes, Medicare taxes, disability taxes, insurance deduction, etc. Adds up to wipe out 25% of my hourly wage. I take home roughly $14.82 per hour. I don't work 40 hours per week, but even if I did, 0.40 hours times $14.82 is $592.80 per week. Multiplied by 52 weeks in a year is $30,825. So if someone is making the minimum of $15, they're making absolutely nothing. Part of it is my fault, sure, for not having a better job. At the same time, I work for a company that makes millions and millions. I was budgeting, looking at all my expenses recently, and I know I don't blow money on anything extra. The problem is simply my income being too low. Sky-high expectations from management for pennies. For California, typically someone making $50,000 is viewed as low, right? Imagine barely over $30,000. Sorry. Just had to vent. Work like a dog, and I can't even afford to live alone if I were single. Insane to me. My whole life is work, but I can't afford anything beyond the basics, and even then I can only keep a roof over my head because of my husband's income. I do, while new hires are getting brought in at a higher rate than mine. I'm dead inside. Part of it is my fault, sure, for not having a better job. In my over a decade worth of experience, in many different companies, fields, even, every single position that was well paid or didn't grind the employee into dust was given to a friend, family member, or through connections. So no, not knowing someone who could literally give you a better job is not your fault. The current job market just sucks. You guys are getting paid over $30K? I'm impressed that you're making it at all. I live paycheck to paycheck on that salary in the Midwest. I work hard as heck for under $30K a year. You're not alone. I think most of the people who use Reddit are more well-off individuals who know how to read really well and use computers, phones, whereas most poor people are uneducated and don't seek out platforms of knowledge or learning. For instance, if you post 50% of single earners in the USA make less than $50,000 per year AGI, people will jump and downvote you into oblivion, lol. Like, people almost don't want to believe that a majority of America is surviving on $30,000 per year or less. And just that, surviving. Lol. Most people are living with family or friends. I don't know what's gonna happen in 10 years when most of the extended family of Gen X, millennials, has passed away. There's gonna be a lot of homeless people. $37,000, but I'm in a lower cost of living non-US city. I work as hard as I am able to. Also for a company that makes millions. I'm not angry. I'm not a native of this culture and don't have the promotion potential that a local would have. So I'm happy just to have food on my plate. But seemingly every month the cost of living rises. And my salary will never match it. Me. I'm so glad someone posted this. It sucks I need to vent here. I'm afraid to say my age though, because my guess is that most people commenting here are in their early to mid-20s. I am not. I'm sick of busting my butt to barely get by. I make $90K per year, live in LA, and I can barely afford a one-bedroom for $2,600 per month. The rest of my income I spend on food, and have no money left over for saving or vacation or any other luxuries. Most people count pre-tax income when talking about how much they make a year. Same thing applies when talking about $50,000 a year being low. If you're talking about $50,000 post-tax, then it really wouldn't be too bad. Assuming you're talking about pre-tax, your $30,000 jumps up to about $40,000, which is bad, but not as bad as $30,000.
Where do you live?
I work full-time as a custodian at a hospital, and on my days off I do general labor gigs and/or fix people's appliances. With those two incomes, my family goes without food a couple days a month. I used to work 60 hours per week for $3,035K per year. 32% of that went to the government. Yay, taxes. People who fight against minimum wage often seem to forget that society is not running out of money. The majority of the wealth is just in possession of very small group of people. Minimum wage could easily be locked, paired with average salary. Say minimum wage is always 80% of country's average salary. And I would also lock public service workers' salaries with average salary. Like teachers, firefighters, etc., maybe 125% of average salary. The thing is that if you make dynamic locks with salaries, then CEOs can't wiggle out of paying. That's why fixed numbers like $15 per H are really bad. You're not alone. Yes, $50,000 is low for California. In parts of Southern California, $80,000 is considered low-end, and anything less than that is difficult to live off of. Live in PA. Have a job that requires a degree. Working towards my master's. Net $28K a year. Luckily I have a pre-COVID apartment with a great landlord. In 4 years my rent has only gone up a total of 50.00. If I didn't have this place, I'd be out of luck because I'm not married and pay all my own expenses, and similar places are now minimum double to triple my rent everywhere I looked. I barely make it each month. Started selling at flea markets on weekends just to get by. I just don't know what else to do. Seems like most places are paying $30K or so. I am not an engineer or a doctor. My degree is wildlife management, a field which is horribly paid and very difficult to find a job in. Easy to look back and sometimes think I wish I'd done something else, but what to do now? Even in rural Pennsylvania, this salary is nearly impossible to survive on. I have no clue how you would do it in CA. I make the equivalent of 19 United States dollars an hour driving a truck in New Zealand. It would be a sub 30K gig for sure if it was normal hours and not 70 hours a week, especially considering our horrific taxes.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.